Good evening, and welcome to another edition of Between the Bases. So, let's state the obvious and get started right away. Roki Sasaki has announced on his Instagram account that he will be joining the Los Angeles Dodgers. Well, who is shocked? Now, I know I thought he was going to be a Padre up until the news came out this morning that he was not going to be a Padre. This is this is not shocking. Once I knew he wasn't going to San Diego, there was no shot in hell that he wasn't going to be an LA Dodger. There really wasn't. You know, the whole free agency, everyone knew he was going to be a Dodger. It was like a little known secret Sasaki's going to the Dodgers. And lo and behold, it happens. We all knew it was going to happen. This is incredibly bad for baseball. This is awful for baseball. You basically have an entire market, the entire Japanese market, going to one team. The the Dodgers have two farm systems, as far as I'm concerned. They have their own farm system, and they have Japan. That's their second farm system. It is beyond incomprehensible that every Japanese player goes to this team. How do they have roster spots anymore? They should really rename their team to the Japan WBC team and trade everyone else. It is number one. You give credit where credit's due, as much as it pains me. You give credit to the Dodger front office that no matter how good they already are, they just continue to strive to get better. So you give credit to the Dodger front office, but that's where I'm done giving credit. This is pathetic. You have an entire market on one team. This is bad for the game. You have a team that's here, and every other team is down here. Second place. You know, this is bad. I don't know what Sasaki's going to look like. He could be a complete flop, and then it's hilarious. He's probably not going to be a career Dodger. But you know what? Nothing like preaching I'm going to a small market team because I don't handle the media well and sign with one of the largest market teams in MLB, in the LA Dodgers. It was almost so predictable. You saw it coming a mile away. And yet baseball fans, some are shocked. Now, when Toronto made that trade today with Cleveland for international spending money, I thought like, oh, maybe they do have a legit shot. And I even said I'm a Yankee fan, but I even said I hope he goes to the Blue Jays. I would have rathered him go to the Blue Jays and been potentially in our division, the AL East. I just didn't want him going to the Dodgers. The team right now is impossible to compete with. It is really bad for the whole game because now you have every international free agent that's going to hit the open market. Everyone's just going to assume it's the Dodgers. And 90% of the time it's going to be. It's always just going to be LA for no apparent reason. Is it closer to the West Coast? Yes. Bob Nightingale, I think, just came out with a tweet as I was signing on that Yoshinobu Yamamoto had a big impact on this. It's mind-boggling. It's just, it really is incomprehensible that this happened. The Blue Jays, I'm very happy that they're where they are. This is great for the Dodgers. I'm happy the Blue Jays kind of were right there towards the end. But we're at the point now, baseball fans, where this game is really bad. Where the NL West is really good and the rest of baseball is really bad. The Dodgers rotation for next year is scary. Now, the doesn't mean, they can't have a bad game. It doesn't mean that the Dodgers can't fall out of the postseason like they've done in the past. But their odds to win the World Series, they were heavy favorites before this happened. They're even heavier favorites now. And as a Yankee fan, I should not be the one sitting here and complaining about players going to one team and signing all the free agents because I know that's what the Yankees did way back when. But this is a different regime that has not happened in a long time. I don't think that'll ever happen again. The way baseball is now, it's pathetic. I'm trying to find the tweet now. Yamamoto apparently had like a big impact on this. And it's like, all right, this is just it's just bad. Like I I almost want to put that video of people reacting to the election of like people screaming. That should be like the thumbnail for this because it's just so awful that that this happened for baseball right now. It is insane. So, I'm sure Otani had a big impact on this. Um, what scares me is I still don't think the Dodgers are done. I think the Dodgers are going to try for Tanner Scott. I think the Dodgers might have something up their sleeves trying to trade for Nolan Arenado, even though I think he's going to be a New York Yankee. I think that they have something up their sleeve. They're stacked right now. There's no competing. That division's done. You haven't even thrown a pitch. That division's over. That offense is the best in baseball by far. The pitching is now the best in baseball. I was holding out on that. I was holding out because I thought the Yankee rotation was better after signing Max Fried. There's no doubt in my mind the Dodger rotation is now better. Now, this is on paper. Paper crumbles. Bleacher Report just put this out a few minutes ago. Their potential rotation. This is not including certain guys. This is not including, I forget what his name was, but it's not including him. Otani, Snell, Yamamoto, Glasnow, Sasaki. Now, obviously, Otani will not be ready to pitch opening day. So there are other options in that rotation that will have to probably be chosen. I forgot. Okay, Clayton Kershaw's unsigned. Gavin Stone was the name I forgot. Dustin May, Tony Goslin. I mean, this is insane. So is Kersh going to sign with the Dodgers? Probably. That's only a matter of time before that's happening. So Kersh is going to be in that rotation too. So now what they're going to have a 6-man rotation. They're going to be so good. It's not funny. They're going to win over 100 games. It's really just bad for baseball. And at what point does MLB step in? At what point do they step in and say, this needs to stop? Where, you know, there's gonna be a lockout when they debate the CBA contract ahead of the 2027 season. There's going to be a lockout because Major League Baseball at this point has to step in and say something. They have to. They don't have a choice. You have other teams complaining. You have fan bases complaining. Baseball is supposed to be about the fan, right? Who pays their salaries? Who pays these players' salaries? I know the teams have money and make money in business ventures and sponsors and all that fun stuff. But, us fans spend a lot of money to go to games each year. Not just tickets, but food. Depending on what stadium you are, I'm fortunate that I can hop the train to Yankee Stadium. But Fans have to pay parking, you know, food and transportation and the tickets itself. It all adds up. Merchandise. You go to the game, it's 90 degrees and then it gets cold all of a sudden and you want to go get a sweatshirt at the gift shop. That's $65. So at what point does baseball say, all right, this is now bad. The product we're putting on the field for the other teams is not great. If you're a Dodgers fan, congratulations. You have every right to be excited. You do. It's nothing that the Dodgers did. And this isn't on the Dodger organization either. Okay? The Dodger organization is simply saying, okay, we're putting in a bid for this free agent. It wasn't the Dodgers throwing money at this kid. It wasn't the Dodgers saying, we're just going to defer all your money and pay you in 20 years. It's a minor league contract. He's making league minimum $750,000 a year. I don't know what the signing bonus is, but he's making $750,000 a year. That's not a lot of money. It wasn't about the money. He wanted to go there because Yamamoto and Otani are already there. And that is very bad for baseball. Murakami in the next offseason. What's the Dodgers' plan then? Who are they going to ship away during this year? Is Tommy Edman going to be back after this year? Max Muncy? Probably not. I know Murakami plays first and I think second base. Freddie Freeman's still on contract. I think Edman plays second base for the Dodgers. Correct me if I'm wrong. Um, Sorry. I think Edman plays second for the Dodgers. I This is so bad for the game. It is not funny. But who are they going to ship off to sign Murakami? Who already said he prefers to play on the West Coast, and then added that he would be a New York Yankee, though. He said, I prefer to play on the West Coast, but I would like to be a New York Yankee. So, I mean, I prefer to be on the West Coast means I'm probably going to sign with a West Coast team. I'm sure the Padres are going to be involved, even though their infield's pretty good. I'm sure the Mariners. I'm sure Oakland or Sacramento, the Athletics. Sorry, I'm sure the Giants. You know, here they have Mookie Betts on the infield. Where are they putting him? I forgot he's an infielder now. Hai Seong Kim, Max Muncy, Miguel Rojas, Freddie Freeman. So what are we gonna do? So they're gonna have to find, and they will, because Tommy Edman's not even on there on the infield. He's on there as part of the outfield, even though Edman can play in the infield. Andy Pajas can also play on the infield. And Mookie could play the outfield. I think Rojas can also play the outfield. I really don't know. Well, I don't know much about Rojas. Uh, Pitching. Yeah, I don't know much about Rojas, but I do know. This free agency, this whole Sasaki free agency process has been a total and complete joke. It really has. It's been a joke. It's been a joke to baseball. We all knew it was a foregone conclusion he was going to the Dodgers. No matter what him or his agent Joel Wolf, to his credit, had a great poker face throughout this process, said it's not a foregone conclusion he's going to the Dodgers. Well, shit, look where he went. We all knew where he was going. He wanted to be with all of his little buddies from WBC because now they can play pretty much WBC just on a year basis. That team is an all-star team. Every single person, 1 to 9 in that lineup, and pretty much that whole rotation at any point could be an all-star. That's great for them. That's fantastic. And all teams do have the ability to do this, but not all teams have the money the Dodgers do. Not all teams have the ability to defer payments the Dodgers do. Not all teams have the hooks to Japan the way the Dodgers do. And they clearly do. They clearly do. Now, if East Coast teams want to get smart, they should stop. They should stop. The East Coast teams should stop talking to these Japanese free agents. All they're doing is driving up the prices. That's it. They should just stop. Murakami next offseason, every East Coast team should be like, no. We all know where you're going. You're going to be a Dodger. We're just not going to talk to you. And that's how it should stay for 2 or 3 off seasons. Just don't talk to any of them until something changes. Because whether it's the deferments, which Manfred has said it's out of control, he said the deferments are deferring money, having deferred money in contracts is okay, but in moderation. What the Dodgers are doing is out of control. Rob Manfred has said that. He is on record saying that on MLB TV. That is a fact. He has said himself the deferments are out of hand. So the deferments are out of hand. They're signing superstars every 5 minutes. They can sign any international free agents they want from anywhere because they just have unlimited everything. It's their favorites to win the World Series, which they should be with this team. They should be. But where does it stop? It doesn't until baseball gets involved. Major League Baseball has a problem on their hands right now, and it's the Los Angeles Dodgers. They're a super team. The Yankees of the 90s were a super team, but they never performed like this. They never, no matter what people want to say to me, the the Yankees from 1996 to 2003, 2004. I'll be nice to Red Sox fans today. From 1996 to 2004, an 8-year period. Do you know how many big free agents they signed? Not a lot. Now they traded for A-Rod, but they didn't officially sign for the extension until the '04 into '05 offseason, I believe. So A so A-Rod was after that. I think they got Giambi was a big one after '01. And that was really it. But when they were winning World Series from 96 to 2000, that stretch there where they won 3 of 4, right? Yeah, 3 of 5, 3 of 4. They won 96, 98, 99, 2000. 4 or 5. Oh my God, I should know this stuff. 4 or 5, where they won 4 or 5 World Series. They didn't buy them. They didn't call any international free agent. No, all those players were brought up through their farm system. They traded in 1991 before they even were close to this for Paul O'Neill. But Andy Pettitte, Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera, Jorge Posada, Bernie Williams, you name it. I'll keep going down the list. They all came up through the Yankee farm system, drafted and developed farm. They didn't buy them. Other guys got traded over. Charlie Hayes got traded over. Chuck Knobloch in the offseason. Scott Brocious as well from the Athletics. All these guys, little pieces. Pitching staff. David Wells was signed, not to a huge contract, and then let go. Cone. They did have the first Japanese pitcher to come over, and that was what was his name? Hideki Arabu, first Japanese pitcher to come over. The Yankees had that in 98, and 99. They did have him. But he was like Sasaki for league minimum. What I'm saying is, the way you build a dynasty is different. So they're buying a dynasty. They're buying it. Their payroll's out of control. And, Major League Baseball needs to add a salary cap. They need to add a salary cap. And they need to, more importantly than a salary cap, and maybe this is the way to do it, maybe don't add a salary cap yet, they need to add a salary floor where teams need to spend money. Small market teams like the Rockies, like the Marlins, they need to start pulling weight. You know why? Because of the Rockies and the Marlins, and the Miami specifically, and Tampa Bay, are attractive destinations for free agents. Why? Number one, Florida doesn't have state tax, much like Texas and Arizona. And number two, if you offered me a contract and, it was between a couple teams, I'm going to take the Yankee bias out of it. So the Yankees are not one of the teams. If I had 3 contracts in front of me, one of them was to the Miami Marlins, one was to the Milwaukee Brewers, and one was to the Texas Rangers, mid-market teams. And you gave me those 3 contracts, and they were all kind of comparable. Let's say they're all the same contract, same everything. I'm taking Miami because it's a nicer destination. Miami's a great city to play in. Tampa Bay, St. Pete, wherever they are, okay city to play in, but you're still in Florida, nice weather, and no state tax. So that should be an attractive destination for free agents to go, and I'm sure it is if they tried. These teams don't try with free agents, so we wouldn't know. Historically, the Marlins haven't tried. Historically, the Rays are not good with free agency. We know this. They sign little deals. Have they ever been to a big record deal? We no. I guess the Rays did think they had a really good shot at Roki Sasaki until the hurricane. Yeah, okay. Yep. Keep dreaming. Yeah, and yeah, hmm and I could breathe underwater for 2 hours. Right. We had a good shot at that. Great. Yeah. Oh my God. Unbelievable with them. But at this point, what baseball needs to do is they need to add the salary floor. You're gonna have more teams than in on free agents, and because they're gonna have to spend money, they might throw more money, and that might make things a little bit more. Oh, maybe the Rays are a dark horse team for this free agent, and maybe they'll, I don't know, get a deal done at some point, and then they'll get people, and then they'll build up and win. That's how you do it. You can't just bring everyone up, try for 3 years, and then oh shit, it's not working. All right, trade everyone. Let's regroup. Which is what the Marlins and the Rays are both doing, by the way. That's what they're both doing. They're bringing people up. If it doesn't work and they don't win within 3 years, send everyone away. We'll try again later. That's what their plan is. That's what the plan with all these mid-market teams, and that's what's ruining baseball more than the Dodgers spending. Because the Dodgers are spending money because free agents are going there. All they're doing is making offers. That's it. I could sit here and make an offer if I were a front office, if I were operating a front office and these big free agents came out and I had a position for them, I'd do the same thing. I'd offer them money. All they have to do is take it. And people are. One, because it's an attractive destination to play, two, because they want to win, and three, because they're giving a lot of money. That's why people are going to the Dodgers. But if you have a plethora of teams that are in on every free agent, maybe another team offers an incentive, less state tax. California state tax is a lot. Maybe a team with less state tax and comparable contract. You take Corbin Burns, for example. He could have gotten more money from San Francisco, from Toronto. I understand from Baltimore as well. He chose to go to Arizona because of the no state tax and he was close to family. And he could live at home with his family and travel to spring training and travel to the park for 81 days a year. He said it himself. I watched the interview with MLB TV that he can now drive his kids to school and have that time with them. That's great. And I think if you have more teams operating the way the Diamondbacks are shown to be operating, that is good for the game. And then because you're going to have all these teams and own all these players, it's going to kind of solve a problem. A salary cap, all that would do is limit the amount of spending you can do in a single offseason. But you're going to have players trying to go to certain teams. All players are going to try and go to the Dodgers. You know why? Because the Dodgers might offer less money, but they're going to offer the opportunity to win and sign more people because they're an attractive destination to go. Same with the Yankees. They would give less money, but they're an attractive destination to go because there's no shot that any other team in the American League is close to where the Yankees are as we sit right now, and they're not done. And other American League teams should be scared. Like the National League teams right now should be scared of the Dodgers and should be scared because they are not done. So that is it for now. Who's next? I have no idea. I know the Pete stuff is kind of getting interesting. I'm hearing Toronto. Especially now, I think Toronto's just going to throw a bag at them. So I wouldn't be shocked if they get a deal done within the next few hours and I'm back on here. I really wouldn't be that surprised. If you told me Pete's going to get a deal done with Toronto because they're angry and they're just going to throw a bag at him and he's going to take it, I would not be shocked if they gave him a long-term deal, threw a bag at him and said, let's go. I wouldn't be shocked. There's another dark horse team in on Pete Alonso. Don't know what team that is. I could see the Diamondbacks potentially. I can see, if you were willing to play in other positions in the infield, I could see the Yankees. I could see a lot of teams in on him, but who knows? Who knows at this point? I could see the Cubs in on him. I could see teams that are willing to spend a little bit to get him, get him. I could see the Red Sox in on Alonso, and then them trade Tristan Casas for a reliever or for another strong pitching arm. They kind of need a right-handed bat. Hold on. Jeff Passan just tweeted something out. Ah, the Dodgers have just announced that they made a trade with the Philadelphia Phillies to get international bonus spending money right before they made the official signing. Wow. They traded Dylan Campbell. Hmm. Wow. Shocking. This is so incredibly horrible. This is so incredibly bad. So I'm going to end it here because I think that's about enough ranting from me about how the Dodgers are just better than everyone. And who knows? But what I will say is I'm excited to watch Yamamoto and Sasaki shut the Cubs down in Japan against the front of their home crowds. That's a fun storyline. I also think that played a part in this. I really do. And I think Major League Baseball knew that when they put the Dodgers on the schedule for the second straight year going to Japan because that's where their market is. So, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Follow me on X, Instagram, at between the bases _. Follow me on Substack. I'll probably have an article about this up by Monday.